Hey everybody, and welcome to my workroom. Most of you have seen this before, at least seen my mess. Normally I'm talking about all of the wonderful things that are brought to me from the post office. But this time, instead of a package, I want to introduce you to a person. Now, an awful lot of you know Gwen Hardy or Boy Gwen from either her title runs, because she's an amazing bootblack, from her work with Ms. World Leather back in the day, or more importantly, from the website The Colors of Leather, which has its own story, by the way, and Gwen's going to be telling that at a different time. But Gwen brought me some amazing treasures, and every one of them has a story. And some of the stories of the things that are in the box sitting next to Gwen, she's going to tell us now. Part of the reason they're important is because they're Gwen's history. But another reason they're important is for the newest annex, which is storied leather. And we have talked about that before, not just preserving the leather to hand down to our next generation, but preserving the story of the leather pieces that we're going to be handing down. So with no further ado, because this one is not about me, this one is all about Gwen and the magic treasures that are in the box. So why don't we start, Gwen, with the first one you pull out?
Well, first of all, hello everybody, and don't expect my commentary to be as nice as Vi's is, because I will totally go mind blank on in the middle of it. Well, the first vest that I brought up for Vi is a very special vest. First of all, you got the family pin here, and two of Mama Reinhardt's pins, Mama's Mischievous Boy and Mama's eBay whore, thanks to Karen Ultra that decided that's what I needed to be. But on the back of it is a very special patch. This patch I bought off of eBay from a guy named Richie Jackson. Richie Jackson used to be a bartender in New York at the New York Eagle. He was also at the Ramrod. Matter of fact, he had just left there before the shooting occurred at the Ramrod and stuff. But I ran across Richie through eBay and talked to him and stuff. And this is one of the things that I bought. And this is one of the patches from the New York Eagle. And I'm turning this over to the library and everything for safekeeping. And that's all I know to say about this one. How about it? This next vest here, and by the way, I personally made the vest. This is my boot black title vest. I cut out in leather and highlighted it white so the boot would show up. And on this side, I carry the Florida Boys of Leather. This is the friendship size patch, but I do have one with the full back patch on it on this side. And on the back is International Leather Sir Boy Boot Black 2003 with my name at the bottom of it in white and everything. So I made this vest, and this is my title vest, and I'm turning it over to the library. And by the way, International Leather Sir Boot Black is not an international title. It's got the word international in it because of that's where the title originated. It became ICBB the next year, and then did become officially an international title. But this, when I competed here, it was a feeder contest to Emsel, and I did go up to Emsel and compete. Izzy is the one that won the title that year at Emsel. So all of you out there that think that this is an international title, it is not. It was a feeder contest to Emsel.
And Gwen, weren't you the first to hold that title?
I'm the first and only one to hold this title because the next year it became ICBB.
And about that Florida Boys of Leather thing, the group you found it? You sort of neglected to mention that part.
What about it?
That you found it in Florida
Well,
Boys of Leather?
me and a dear buddy of mine, a lot of you may know, boy BJ, founded Florida Boys of Leather. Unfortunately, we just didn't have a whole lot of participation and everything, and after a couple of years, we finally gave up on it and everything. But me and BJ are the founders of Florida Boys of Leather. There's one more.
And speaking of Florida Boys of Leather, I can see what's coming out of that box next.
Yes. This vest I made, and there's only 2 in existence. I made one for myself. This is in the Boy Pride colors, and one for Chris Zimmerman. So there are only 2 that look just like this. I believe there have been some made afterwards and everything, but this is the very first Boy Pride vest that was ever made, and I made it. And it's got miscellaneous pins and stuff on here, mainly boy friendship pins and so on and so forth. And then on the back is the larger version of the Florida Boys of Leather. And this was designed by BJ and myself, with the boot behind it, the state of Florida, with the collar going around through the heart and everything, top part of Florida here. And that's it.
Treasures.
Who is this?
Now, whose vest did you rescue?
I don't know. I bought this one off of eBay. I can't remember the club name right offhand. I used to know these clubs a lot quicker, but as years have passed and chemo has played its course, I forget. But this is out of San Francisco, one that I found off of eBay, and I saved it from there.
Now, when we talk about the stories of the vests, many of you also know that the eBay group, Reclaiming Our Leather History, does an awful lot to find pieces just like this, either to reclaim them, to get them back to their owners, which is our first priority, or to reclaim them so that they can go to the archives, to the library, to local libraries like this one. We will ultimately be talking to the Gay and Lesbian Center to find out if they have the patch, if they would like more history from Gwen, so that the history, not just of the vest and how it ended up for sale instead of going back through tribal ways and means, but to make sure that it doesn't get lost, that it doesn't end up being cut up and used for heaven only knows what, that its history is preserved, and that the person who wore it, if we can find them, can also come back and tell stories. So, if nothing else, thank you, Gwen, for rescuing the vest.
There you go. This piece here, I love it, but it swallows me now. I was quite a bit heavier back in the day. My mistress purchased this for me at one of the IMLs, so it must have been like 2002 IML and everything. But it is a super nice leather shirt. And I, for one, heartbroken that it just swallows me. And it has for years. So find a good home for that, bye.
We will indeed. Dear Storied Leather, you have the story of this one, and we will be looking for someone to carry this on with Gwen's spirit and in Gwen's name.
I'm one of these that kind of a jack of all trades and a master at none. I'm able to look at things and take them apart and put them back together in different ways and stuff. And one of the things that I got tired of doing is whenever I wear my knee-high Doc Martens or my knee-high Carolinas, I got tired of trying to get all those pant legs down inside of the boots. So I took this pair of leather pants that was laced up the side. I added hooks on the side. I added these to tighten them up just a little bit, but I cut them off. So they're actually go right below the knee. And once you pull your boot up, it fits perfect right about in here. They stay inside your boot, and then you don't have all this excess down in your boot trying to rub blisters on you or whatever. But again, way too big, and I'm hoping I can find someone in this size that these will work as well for them as they did for me.
So, Matt and Shar, you heard that, right? They need a little bit of love. They need to be properly photographed for the new project. And then they need someone who has Gwen Hardy's spirit in the next generation who will do these proud.
And this is just a pair of leather pants that I had purchased and everything. You're going to have short legs because I'm only 5'2" in order to be able to wear these, but perfectly good. Swallow me again, just like all the others do. So here's a super nice pair of leather pants for whoever's got short legs and a big butt at the time.
I have a funny feeling that there is some leather kinkling out there who would love, who would be honored, who would cherish these as their first piece of leather and hold on to them with all of the spirit, the intent, and the love that was in them before.
Now these shouldn't have any problem fitting the leg length because they are shorts, but they do swallow me. And a nice pair of leather shorts with a padlock zipper pull.
I was looking at that.
So again, a nice piece that I can no longer do anything with.
I know there's a youngin' out there somewhere, a boy who would love to put his Doc Martens on and wear these in the spirit of the boot black that have them on first. Ah, tell me more about this one.
This is just a black jumpsuit, flight suit and everything. I loved it. I wore it quite often, but again, it swallows me. The only thing I really did to it was sewed on a bondage patch. Again, short legs. Swallows me. And last here, before I talk about this very last piece, is just a pair of leather chaps that again is way too big for me. Nothing special about them, just they're leather chaps.
What's special about them is who they belong to. Think of the love, think of the adventures, think of all of the fun, the mischief, and if you have any questions to whoever ends up with this amazing piece through the Storied Leather Annex, we're going to send you straight to Gwen and let y'all tell those stories kind of personally, because I'm not sure all of them belong here. For now, signing out. You know what? Instead of seeing me in the workroom, why don't you come down and see us in the library?
I've got one more piece here, but I'd like for you to see if you can find the original before we go through it.
We will be discussing that one in our next video.